Hi Ritu, how are you?
बिल्कुल बढ़िया राजीव, तुम कैसे हो?
Happy Friday.
हैप्पी फ्राइडे।
बहुत सुंदर दिख रही हो. All
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू सो मच।
Friday evening. Yeah. How are you feeling?
ठीक हूँ, फ्लू से रिकवर कर रही हूँ बट आई एम फीलिंग गुड। और अभी ट्यूसडे को शो देख के आई थी दिलजीत दोसांझ का। ही इज अ
Oh,
ग्रेट एक्टर, सिंगर एंड ह्यूमन बीइंग। तो अभी तक आई एम स्टिल इन दिलजीत मोड।
oh my God, that I was watching all the Facebook live उसमें तुम लोग जो लेके आ रहे थे वहां पे. I'm just going to make this public so that people can share.
श्योर, या इट वाज एन अमेजिंग शो। पूरा हाउसफुल था ऑन ए वीकडे, और हर इंसान अपनी सीट पे के ऊपर या एटलीस्ट खड़ा था। आई नेवर सीन ए शो लाइक दैट। एंड ही वाज सच ए हम्बल ह्यूमन बीइंग। शो के एंड में लिटरली लाइक सबको उसने मतलब स्टेज पे ऐसे कर करके उसने थैंक्स किए। नहीं तो लोग आते हैं एटीट्यूड में आके शो करके जाते हैं। ही वाज रियली गुड
मैं कुछ
एंड लाइक
confess मैं
क्वाइट
कुछ confess
इंस्पिरेशनल।
करूं. Uh, I told this thing to Lina, but confess करता हूँ मैं. सोचा नहीं था confess करूंगा, परंतु करता हूँ कि उस रात को इतना Facebook में उसका Facebook लाइव चल रहा था because there's so many of our friends who were there, right? तो हर
राइट।
कोई कर रहा था. तो रात को मुझे उनके सपने आए.
ओह।
या तो दिलजीत जी को मैंने देखा and I saw that it really funny, like अगर if I put this episodes together it's hilarious because I saw that I was able to go and meet him in person. और वो बोल रहे हैं कि uh, बात उत हुई. We felt the warmth with each other. He was so down to earth, such a humble guy. And he said, I want to introduce you to my parents. And कहाँ से parents, I have no idea. And he took me backstage and I met some elderly couple. I touched their feet
ओह
and I
माय।
and him sat down and we were talking. और उसने कहा कि राजीव, I would like to come on your दिल से show sometime. होगा तो जब भी फुर्सत मिलेगी. अभी तो मैं कॉन्सर्ट में हूँ, परंतु कॉन्सर्ट के बाद मौका मिलेगा तो मैं ज़रूर आऊँगा तुम्हारे शो में. मैंने कहा, "यू आर मोर देन वेलकम. वी लव टू हैव हार्ट टू हार्ट कन्वर्सेशन." और फिर उनके पेरेंट्स के साथ मैं बैठा, ज़मीन पे बैठा, उनसे गप्पे मारी. और फिर उसने कहा मुझे कि अभी मुझे जाना पड़ेगा क्योंकि बहुत लोग आते हैं फ़ोटो खिंचाने के लिए और मिलने के लिए कॉन्सर्ट के बाद. So I have to do that as part of the concert, as part of my routine. So I have to excuse myself and I'll go. But here is my business card and here's my personal number, and hopefully we'll be in touch. And I would love to come on your show.
सी इस तरीके से देखो, एक स्टेज पे आके हमें नहीं, हम उनको पर्सनली नहीं जानते हैं बट उनकी वाइब्स, उनका उसका सॉन्ग भी है। तो किस तरीके से हम इंस्पायर हो जाते हैं। एंड ऑफ कोर्स लाइक वी आर नॉट एट दैट एज जैसे मैं एज ए फीमेल बोलूं कि मैं उनको एडमायर करने लगी, बट दैट ह्यूमन टू ह्यूमन बॉन्ड लाइक टोटली टच्ड। एंड मैं उसको पहले भी बहुत पसंद करती थी, लेकिन ये अभी लाइव शो देखने के बाद तो आई एम टोटली नाउ। और भगवान करे कि तुम्हारा सपना साकार हो और कभी हमारे शो में आए हो।
Fingers crossed. Who knows?
या
The
हु नोज।
universe combines and joins people through its own unique way.
या तो
वो
अभी देखो,
तो
या क्योंकि अभी हम थिएटर के प्ले के आज हमारे जो गेस्ट आने वाले हैं, हम जाते हैं कभी कभी किसी रोल में, किसी कैरेक्टर में, या किसी उन लोगों को एक्ट करते हुए देख के हम कनेक्ट करते हैं और फिर उस कैरेक्टर को अपने साथ ले आते हैं। तो
सच्ची वही यही होता है ना. थिएटर प्रेजेंट्स अस दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी. एंड वेलकम सुरेखा जी. हेलो टू यू आल्सो. हैप्पी फ्राइडे. Hi Mala, how are you? Good evening Ritu and Rajiv. Mala, thank you so much for joining and supporting us. And I will get the evening started. And आज हमारे पास जो प्ले में आ रहे हैं हमारे यहाँ टैगोर म्यूजिक ग्रुप का एक प्ले आ रहा है, विजया विक्टोरिया. It's on the life of Rabindranath Tagore, and I'm a huge fan of Rabindranath Tagore. उनकी poetries, उनकी
या
writing. मई में मैंने उनका शो भी किया था पूरा रेडियो जिंदगी में 1 घंटे का. uh, he the talent that person has, I don't know. भगवान ने उनको कुछ एकदम खास ही बना के भेजा था.
बिल्कुल।
The love, the romance, the art, the stories, the books that he has written, and the first Nobel laureate from India is like someone that we always admire. And I'm going to bring on stage right now Bharati and Shampa. First of all, Bharati runs the Tagore Music Group in Washington, D.C., and the person behind putting this theatrical play together. And Shampa, who is one of the characters playing the Victoria in this play. So I'm going to bring them over and we're going to have the conversation about this upcoming play that's going to be happening soon, and they will tell us about it. Hi,
Hi,
Bharti, how are you?
hi, Bharti.
Hello, good evening.
Good
It's so
evening.
nice to be able to join you guys.
Hi,
Great.
Shampa.
Hello. Hi,
Welcome to
everyone.
our show.
Hey, Rajiv. Hi, Ritu. Hi, Bharati Kakima. So lovely.
Hello.
Yeah.
So
Good
nice to
evening.
see everybody. Good evening.
Yeah. So,
Happy
Shampa, I remember Ritu came to watch us for Three Sisters, and you guys had connected, and we did the
Yes.
show before that for
या
Oh
Three
my
Sisters.
मैंने
goodness.
शंपा को पहले देखा था थिएटर के इधर उधर मैं देखती रहती थी सब क्लिप्स में लेकिन उस दिन वो पॉलिटिशियन के रोल में आके शी टोटली एज्ड इट मतलब अपने रोल में टोटली और वाह इम्प्रेसिव और सच में बताऊं तो उस प्ले को देखने के बाद मुझे थिएटर में इंटरेस्ट हुआ नहीं तो पहले मैं सोचती थी पता नहीं बोरिंग होते होंगे प्लेज एंड ऑल बट उस अब मैंने सोचा है इवन मैं मीरा जी को भी फॉलो करती हूँ और कोशिश करूंगी उनका भी संडे को एक प्ले आ रहा है कि आई एम लाइक सुनील को मैं बोल रही हूँ कि सुनील लेट्स गो एंड वॉच दैट प्ले इन थिएटर
Yeah,
Ritu, that
theater
is the
is
biggest compliment any actor, artist, director can get. Thank you.
yeah.
Spurring
And
that interest for theater.
so, Shampa, you did the role of a politician in Three Sisters. Now you're doing the role of Victoria, I think, and I'm just guessing, and Bharti will tell us more about it. Um, how been the transformation? How do you go through? I know you have been acting since 2014. You've done movies, short skit, you've done theater. You're so engrossed into it. Um, how do you get into these different moods and different characters, and how is this very different from what you have done in the past?
Well, I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to work with so many local theater groups, such a talented pool of artists and actors over here. A lot that I've learned is actually has been imbibed from watching all of you, from learning all of you, and, on the job, on the stage. But for Victoria Ocampo, it has been quite challenging because you asked me what's different. In the past, I've never had the opportunity to explore a character from a South American or a completely different, country of origin. That itself, I feel, entails an immense amount of homework and research. So, for Victoria, from that, trying to imbibe the 1920s and 1930s. Is a challenge, especially since you have not grown up watching that media. We grew up watching American movies, probably British movies, but Indian movies, but not South American movies. So it's been kind of like a door that has opened up where you start to learn from the ground up. So that's been challenging, and it's also been challenging to find that fine line, where you bring in that era, you bring in that lilt of the South American, but you also establish that entire theatrical content in English because we want our audiences, our mainstream, to understand. So it's marrying that influence with what you want to convey through the script, which is primarily in English. So that has been the biggest challenge for this character.
वाओ
So,
शंपा
Hmm.
go ahead, Ritu.
No, Mela, I'm like listening to her, and I know, because I've seen her in Three Sisters, that she will do really good in this role, and I'm really looking forward. I will definitely go to watch this since I've seen Shampa in Three Sisters.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Ritu. I'm really excited to play Ocampo. I'd love to talk about her as well. I think a lot of people know Tagore and have read about Tagore, but Victoria Ocampo, for me itself, was an enigma.
Yeah, and it's a very good opportunity for the kids as well, like for our kids, and then they can get to know about Tagore and all the things in that era happened.
True, true,
So we're
very
going to come back to Shampa with you for the next question, but I have a question for Bharti. Bharti, you run the Tagore Music Group here in Washington, D.C.,
I
and
do.
you're putting together this theatrical presentation. Um, how what motivated you, and what is this organization? How did you come up with the idea? How did you put it together? So many questions keep popping up, and you can answer them all at once. But I'm very interested in knowing about it because this is the
Yeah,
first time I'm hearing
I
about it.
can try to briefly answer it because I've been running this organization for 14 years now. But why 14 and why not 34? I'm going to be 71 this August. Why did I not start it earlier? And that's a question I always ask myself, and I have no answer for it. I grew up in totally seeped in Tagore culture because I grew up in Calcutta and Kolkata, which is now, and in Kolkata, in our times, Bengali girls were sent out to either learn to dance or to learn Rabindra Sangeet.
Yep.
Most of the times. And I was done the latter, the Rabindra Sangeet, because my father thought that I was an only child. I thought if I learned dancing, I would probably want to go touring with my dance group, and he would not let me do that, and that would be a huge conflict. So he just shoved me into a music institution, and he thought he's done his job. Thank God I could even croak. I mean, it could have been that I would be sounding like a frog or something. But
I don't think
I was
anyone from
slightly
Kolkata
tuneful,
croaks.
thank God.
I don't think anyone from Kolkata croaks. They're all such melodious singers.
Oh,
Amazing.
you
So
you
sure.
are very talented people.
Thank you. So, but I sang Tagore songs. I read his poetry. I read a lot of his works. I cannot say I read all of it because it's like an ocean. But I don't know why in 2009, I thought, let me try to do a drama of Tagore's. And I chose a very unusual one. It's called Orupratun. And lots and lots of people haven't even heard of it. The regular ones are Shampa, Chandalika, Chitrangada, Shapmochon, and all those, But I thought I want to do something a little different and give people a taste of Tagore, which is slightly out of the ordinary. And that's when I did it, and everybody accepted it so well that I thought maybe, hey, we start an organization. And I became a nonprofit organization, and that's where it all started.
That's amazing. So tell us about this upcoming play, Vijay Victoria.
Well, the upcoming play is very different from the last 14 years, because what I've been doing for the last 14 years is actually bringing Tagore to stage. Whatever he had written, maybe a poem transformed into a dance drama, or a short story transformed into a play. That's what I've been doing. Lot of his own plays that he had written, many plays too. I've staged those as well. This year it is about Tagore. It's about a snippet of Tagore's life, which was, in all appearance, it's only 2 months of an 80-year-old man's life. But it was so significant because he probably, there's a question, of course, we speculate that he had found his muse in Victoria Ocampo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why I chose that topic, and I researched and I wrote the script myself.
And I think it's not only going to be a play, but it's representing a piece of the history, the
History
piece of
also.
knowledge and education.
Yeah, I want to say that today and get that out of the way. That really, yes, I tried very hard to be historically correct, but I'm sure I deviated a little bit for the sake of drama.
So
not a lot, but hither and thither, just a little.
So with that, so Ritu, when we do play, right? A lot of those are fiction. So we get in the character, just say Three Sisters, I got into the character of politician or whatever. We imagine it and get into it. But with plays like Tagore's plays, which are based on the actual historical moments, those characters are living and breathing characters who lived those years. Yeah. How do you get into those characters? How do you portray those characters? So Shampa, before I call other folks on the thing, I would like to ask you, the Victoria, on how do you get into the skin of Victoria?
Yeah. So first off, I harassed Kakima to dip into her endless research, right? That's the easy one. And then for Victoria, there are certain aspects of her, right? So you can look online, you can look at the books that she has published, and you kind of get a feel of that era. You get a sense of how South American women in 1920s and 1930s would convey themselves, or how they reacted to certain situations. But for me, the biggest inspiration or my guideline is the script. That's my holy grail. And I try to find the character and develop the character based on my script. So I take a line And then I'll say, with the parameters in place, with the age, the era, and everything that I've looked at and what I've heard from Kakima, then I say that same lines probably 10 different ways, and then try to see what feels really honest, what feels really good to me, right? And then once I feel good about it, and we get together, myself, Shoibal, all of us, Kakima, we sit together and create the scene, and then we deliver it, then we go back and think about, did that still feel right? Or has the group dynamic affected the way Victoria spoke or the way she felt? Because collectively it has to feel right, right? So for me, it's always been the script. And I feel that if I can, towards the end of this journey, if I can love my Ocampo, then I'm going to find it easier to inspire everybody else to love her. I hope everybody else loves her too.
आई एम श्योर तुम बहुत अच्छा ही करोगी। तो आजकल घर में विक्टोरिया, एज ए विक्टोरिया ही तुम्हारा चल रहा होगा सब कुछ।
हाँ, सब कुछ विक्टोरिया ही चल रहा है।
थोड़ा सा ग्लिम्स दो ना विक्टोरिया का, थोड़ा सा। I mean, if you can, I don't know, like I'm putting you at the spot.
Problem. No sé por qué hablas sin saber nada, Ignacio. You obviously do not know of him or of his talents.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty good.
So, Ritu, before we continue our conversation, for this particular play, Bharati has got some very talented tango dancers from South America to be part of the play, which is huge. And Bharati, your tango dancers, your guests are here on the
Wonderful.
room. So I'm going to bring them on.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn it over to you, Bharati, to introduce them.
Sure.
And to have the conversation, and I'll have some questions for them.
Okay.
I'm going to bring them on. Okay, over there, I think. So as soon as they come, I saw them coming in.
Yeah, they're in a class, so they must have checked once to see if you are ready for them. Hi.
Wow. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to our show.
This is Guillermo
Thank you.
DeFazio. This is Guillermo
Yes.
DeFazio and Giovanna Dan.
Hello.
Hola.
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 How do you
They're,
do?
they're originally from Buenos Aires. They now live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Correct.
So there's a huge echo behind you.
There's an echo coming.
Yeah, looks like their phone
Yes.
is on.
A ver, maybe now.
Now it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I
it's
think
gone.
better.
It's a little better.
Yes.
Better. Yep.
It's okay.
So how
Hola.
are you guys?
We are doing good. We are preparing, rehearsing very hard here. And
Wow.
also doing lessons. So we are kind of sweat, you see?
That's quite all
We're
right.
working hard for you guys.
Okay, very good.
Hi. I'm a passionate dancer, and definitely I want to know what tango is exactly, and please tell us about tango.
I think your TV is on, or
Your
your
echo is on because we can hear our voice.
Yes, okay. Let me see how we can find a solution for this problem.
Okay. But then now we
Tango,
can't hear them
it's
anymore.
from
Yeah.
Buenos Aires, the city center of Argentina. It's the national folklore of the city center. We have also folk dances from the outskirts, but from the city, we have Argentine tango. And it's actually a social dance that is improvised. So the leader proposes a step, and the follower follows. So it's a dance that we follow the music, and it's very in the moment. And what happens in the dance is something that's created between the leader and the follower in the moment. So it's this improvised dance that's really based on feeling and traditional music, traditional
Wow.
sound.
Yes, and also in part of the music is a combination. You know, Buenos Aires was a city of the New Americas, no? At that time, there were arriving many men from different nationalities, especially from Europe, for looking for a better life. And with them came all kind of instruments. So tango is a melange, a mix between different kind of musics, and into a shape that also has a rhythm very particular from the African roots. So all this together, it became into improvisation dance they didn't know what they were doing in the beginning of tango. So it took many years to shape it in the way we are doing it today.
Yes.
Wow. I think the audience in Washington, D.C. are very lucky to be able to see your tango part of the play.
Yeah, this will be a treat for them because this is going to be very unique.
Totally. Indeed, it's
We
going to
have
be
tango
unique.
dances in our dramas.
Yes. So what we will be doing, we do traditional Argentine tango, which is the improvised form, but we also do performance style, so choreography, and we just finished a U.S. tour where the choreographer is of a company called Tango Argentina, and talking about this with your director. We have pieces and songs that were performed in the 1920s from our show, so we are going to be bringing that to your show as well. Something from the time period.
Really looking forward.
Looking
Amazing.
forward.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
we are also very excited and very looking forward to do this show. It's it's an honor to do this for this feature that got the Nobel Prize.
Right.
So we are very honored in performing.
Yeah, and we're also
doing
learning a lot of. We didn't know about this person, so we're looking
Tagore.
forward to seeing what the entire play is about and learning about
Great.
your culture as well.
Yeah,
It's a great
interesting.
cultural exchange, actually. That's what
Yeah,
we
it's
take
like
from this, I think.
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
my voice is echoing because they're
thank you guys. We'll see you
Let me see if I can.
in August.
Looks like someone's phone is on.
Some phone is on, not mine.
So Bharati, I'm going to say bye to you guys. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you.
That's right.
Thank you guys very much. These are pretty
You guys. Oh,
I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see
Yeah,
what.
You want to see a little preview? Okay,
show
no
some
problem.
more.
But you do the
do
music.
it one more time. There they are.
Hey,
Yes. All
Wow,
right.
awesome. That's the spirit of dancers and their dance.
They're actually amazing.
See as well, but we try to do our best.
Wow, you guys are amazing. And
Yes.
I love
Thank
your
you.
spirits. Like I can see that passion of dancing and that enthusiasm. Totally love it.
Love it.
This is what we do.
That's
We love you all, and we hope to see you very soon.
Yeah, see ya.
See you there. Yeah.
Take care.
Take care.
See you very soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, like dancing people are happy people, and actually passionate people, when they are doing their passion, are always in their happiest and best mode.
Yeah, I know.
I just wanted to add one note to this. Why did I keep a tango dance in this drama? Because in the first place, tango originated in and evolved in Argentina. That's one reason. Another reason is Rabindranath Tagore was always very eager wherever he visited, whichever country he visited, and he had visited 35 countries in those days where there was no air travel. Just think about it. So he always wanted to find out their original culture. He wanted to learn about their culture. So he was actually headed for Peru. He wanted to learn about Peru's ancient culture, but he was halted in Buenos Aires. He was too ill to move forward to Peru. So he wanted to find out about Argentinian culture.
Yeah.
But at that time, Argentina was steeped in European culture. So Victoria Ocampo had presented some European music for him, and he got very turned off by that. He said, I want European music. I'm going to go to Europe. Why are you making me listen to that here? Bring me some Argentine culture.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's the reason why I thought I would put the tango dance in here. This way, it'll be more dramatic and the audience will be able to see it. Plus, it will satisfy that particular, urge of Tagore to learn about the local culture.
And with Victoria here and listening to what Shampa did a little bit, looking at the tango dancers, this is already building up so much momentum.
Yeah, so much interest.
Are you going to bring in Tagore and Leonard Knight Elmhurst?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to bring in Saibul, who's working as Tagore, and Sid. And
Hi, Sid. Hi, Saibul. Welcome
Hello.
to our show.
Hello, thank you.
Saibul, you're getting onto those big shoes, man. Like playing Tagore. And I grew up knowing Bengali culture a lot, and at least I know this that um, when it comes to Tagore, people sometimes are very stickler about the perfection on how you present Tagore. It's like God for them, right?
It's like playing Christ.
Yeah, and you
If you
cannot.
play Christ, nobody will say that you did the right thing.
Yeah, and someone stepping into those shoes, it's not just about getting into the frame of Tagore. You have to become Tagore, right?
Right.
And every movement. So Saibal, how are you taking that challenge? How you're preparing for it?
So tell me about that. So as Bharati just mentioned that playing like Christ, I've been crucified by already many of my friends. So how dare you do that? Because he's a God-like figure. I mean, what he has written is like God's voice in God's word.
Yeah.
It is difficult. Now, I always look for challenging roles. This is because I started acting pretty late in my life, and just experimentation is my way of moving forward, learning from the directors, learning from my co-actors, learning from the script. This script is probably the strongest thing that really drove me forward. And Shampa came to me and said, Shagalda, Bharati Kakima has written a fantastic script. And Bharati already approached me, so I will think about it. I don't want a word from you final right now. So she came to me and said, Shagalda, you have to, because this script is just unbelievable. So I read the script and I just thought that, this would be a perfect thing that I can experiment on. And I always try to find out that how the audience is going to take. That is one of the major challenge here, because so I am anticipating there will be like two very different types of audience coming in. One is traditional Bengali people who really knows a lot about Rabindranath Tagore and his movement, how he used to see it, how he used to look, everything. And then there is a group that is coming to look at Rabindranath Tagore as a Nobel laureate. So they don't much know about Rabindranath's, like how he used to walk, how he used to talk and behave. And, he's not like a god-like figure, but like a celebrity. So which one should I bring it out? That is the important thing. Now, what Bharati is doing is reminding me when I'm playing Rabindranath Tagore, this is a drama. So you have to give some opportunity of the audience who really here to come to see a drama. So you have to give some dramatization in the character. So that was a good suggestion, I think, and he is changing our strategy. The way I took this one is I close my eye and I think of the image that I have about Rabindranath Tagore. Because if I want to go and take it from different people, it's never going to work out.
Yes.
I have it. I've been with Rabindranath's, literature from childhood in many different ways. My first poem that I memorized was Bir Purush, which is Rabindranath Tagore's poem. And so I wanted to bring out that with a little bit of dramatization, which will keep the audience live, keep the audience with us. So that's what I am trying to do. The other challenge is to look like Rabindranath Tagore, because the beard, the picture, how he looks like, the costume and everything. So that's a joint venture with the director. So we are getting close towards that direction. I think that people will not be disappointed, but of course, we can't bring Rabindranath Tagore stage live.
That's a huge challenge. Yeah, that's a huge challenge that you take.
So my job is not to disappoint the audience. So that's what my target is.
Yeah.
So, Ritu, did you notice one thing that I just noticed while the Shampa and Saibal were having conversation कि वो लोग किस तरह से भारती को एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि इतनी स्वीटनेस है उसमें. दोनों ने काकी माँ कहा.
I know.
Yeah, I am Kakima to them. Yes.
Yeah, it's like that.
Most of the kids their age here, I am Kakima, which means auntie.
Okay.
It's a little more personal than auntie, but yeah.
It's a little more personal. Yeah.
Like हमारे यहाँ मौसी बोलते हैं ना, in our culture we say मौसी.
Mausi is mashi for us.
Yeah.
Kakima is
Nice chachi. Chachi.
Chachi.
Paternal uncle's wife, actually.
Yeah,
Chachi.
Chachi, Mami, I know.
So I'm addressing as she's my elder sister, Bharati Di, which means somebody who is elder than you and in feminine gender. So that's what I'm.
No, I found that very lovable, very cute, very liked, and there was that warmth in that when Shampa and Saibal both said Kakima, there was that warmth. बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत अच्छा लगा.
That
But
warmth.
you can call me Kakima as well. You're free to do that.
I will
Most welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ने कहा
Like, I really want to ask Saibal कि आपने बताया कि आपने late age में you started theater. So how did it happen? Like, what made you do theater?
So I first started, in a role where I was asked to do a small role, and this was by another group here called Natya Christi. And I went there, and when I did that small role, and the director liked it, and then there was another actor who was not feeling very well. He's a kind of elderly person, and his role was given to me as a backup in case his illness gets worse and he won't be able to join. So eventually, the person from whom I was actually giving proxy, he liked it. He said, "Why don't you do it rather than me, and then I can get relief from this?" So I had a second role in that one. So what a challenge in my first try. And then came a third one at the end because nobody was wanting that role, and I just said, I always try to experiment. So it was a role of like a Vivek who comes in and tells the truth about the world and everything. Yeah,
the conscience.
Like that. Right. So that was my first one, and then the second one was a very traditional drama from Calcutta called Tinet Talawar.
We lost Shaibal for a second. Yeah. Hopefully.
Sid से बात कर लेते हैं. It's in the meantime.
It's
Hi,
always
Sid.
time. Yeah.
Hi,
Now
how's it going?
you tell about yourself, how you got this role and your journey into theater.
Oh, well, speaking of how I got into this role, I think you look at Leonard Elmhurst. This is a guy who is seeking love and gets rejected. Auntie thought right of me. So,
Ouch.
so kind of fit the shoe. So I thought, okay, yeah, why not? Let's do it. But as to how I got into it, like after a while of just working along your career, my background's accounting. You get tired of life and you search for new venues. And I just Troy Ball's back. So I thought, let me get into this. Let me get into acting. So I started taking some classes in DC. There's an acting studio conservatory there. And there are some independent directors there who are always looking for young and upcoming actors to just, partake in some independent community plays and whatnot. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I think 2018, I first took part in an independent film festival, independent theater festival with an adaptation of a Shakespeare play. So that was fun, great. I had a great time in that. And I just thought, I'm not giving this up. I'm just going to keep going. Every year I'm looking to take part in some play. Obviously during the COVID years, I didn't do anything, but I'm so happy that Auntie approached me for 2 of her plays now. I was in her Art Pratham play, and oh my God, I cherished that moment. It was undoubtedly, I think it was my favorite performance because it was just she knows how to pick her actors. It was a person who's faking to be somebody, a person who was Joker who's being a king, and she thought, oh, Sid, hey, okay, this guy, let's go to him again. So
that's what directors are. They have perfect eye.
They know.
Okay.
So Saibal is back. So Saibal, Ritu's question continues.
Yeah, so sorry, I got disconnected. So the second one, I played the Utpal Dutt's role in that one. So that was a challenge too. The third one was I had to play for Shah Jahan. So Shah Jahan was one of the first one where I did play a historical character. Wow. And I think that was a challenge, but nobody actually saw Shah Jahan among the audience. So I had the freedom to really portray him the way most of the people would see, and you can take an average imagination, and then you portray that. So that was my, and then I did a couple of other plays, but this one is unique in the sense that people pretty much know Rabindranath Tagore, because there are people probably who has seen Rabindranath in childhood are still living. So, and then their family members, like we have here Rabindranath's lineage, somebody from their family also. So it's a very personal thing actually to them when you see this play being played.
But as you said, you are going to portray him as you have imagination of him. So you will do your best. And I know, like, things done from the heart and how we feel about the character definitely comes out good.
Exactly.
Wow. And Bharati, compliment for you from Chitra.
That's so sweet.
Looks like now the whole area is definitely want to call you auntie, kaki, sister, or like whatever they feel like.
I'm very good. Okay with that.
Kakima, yeah.
I love to be the Kakima of the community. No problem there.
And Bharati, एक question आया था पहले तो we were talking about other topics, so छूट गया. Someone wanted to know the exact date and time when this performance is happening.
August 14th, Sunday. It starts at 4 p.m. And when I say 4 p.m., it starts at 4 p.m.
And where we can buy the tickets?
Online. I have a website that I can send out.
Okay.
If you guys want to publish that, I think Rajiv already has it.
So,
do you have any flyer, like any official flyers
yes,
we can share?
We have official flyers, Astro, and Rajiv has that.
Yeah, we will put it on the Facebook.
That'd be nice. Yes.
And where is it happening?
It's happening at the Rockville Civic Center Hall, the F. Scott Fitzgerald Theater. It's a large hall. It houses up to 474 people. But because of COVID, I have reduced the number of seats. I've reduced it to 428.
So this is
a lot.
This is in Rockville. This is the Fitzgerald.
This is in Rockville, Maryland. Yes, downtown Rockville.
So it's kind of in the middle for everyone.
It's very accessible. Yes, very accessible from highways and locally as well. Yeah.
So Bharati, quick question. Ritu और मैं थ्री सिस्टर्स के बारे में यही बात कर रहे थे जब उसका परफॉर्मेंस हुआ था कि 2 दिन का परफॉर्मेंस किया उसके बाद खत्म हो गया, राइट? एंड वर्जीनिया के काफी लोग होते हैं, एशबर्न के, हर्नडन के, रेस्टन के, शैंटिली के, जो नहीं आ पाए थे. एंड द क्वेश्चन वाज कि वहाँ क्यों नहीं लेके आते हैं या वो और शोज क्यों नहीं करते हैं? So is this show only one show, or are you going to have multiple shows?
So far I have only one show planned because it is a huge undertaking. As you can see, people are coming from Los Angeles to take part in it. It's going to be very difficult to duplicate this at this magnitude. All right. So I'm really, that's one of the reasons I am very happy to be on your show. I would urge everybody who's going to be on town to try, please, not to miss it. Because at this magnitude, I am really not sure if we can do this again.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's all. Right now, that's all I can say, really.
Yeah,
I am, after all, Tagore Music Group of Greater Washington, D.C. is, after all, a very small cultural organization. We do a lot, so we are very, very visible, but we are actually very small.
Can I sign up to act in the next play that you
Yes, absolutely. My next play will be in Hindi, and Ritu will be in it too.
No, I will be your official promoter, and I will spread the word.
Fantastic.
And Ritu
That will be lovely.
Ritu is amazing. I don't know.
अरे बहुत लोगों को थिएटर के बारे में पता ही नहीं है. I was talking to my friend this morning. She said that she used to watch मुंबई में जाती थी थिएटर देखने. अभी मीरा जी डालती रहती हैं, तो उन्होंने आज एक लव बर्ड्स के लिए डाला था. And she told me कि this is उसी के based उन्होंने मुंबई में तुम्हारी अमृता करके एक प्ले था.
I've seen that.
That's Amrita Pritam.
I've seen some version of it. Yes.
तो मेरे जैसे बिल्कुल एक नॉन थिएटर पर्सन ने जाके आज उसके बारे में पढ़ा कि वो क्या था एंड ऑल दैट. सो बहुत सारे लोग हैं, जैसे अभी साइबल ने बताया कि लेट एज में उनका इंटरेस्ट हुआ एक्टिंग में. तो अभी और मैंने टैगोर जी के बारे में पढ़ा है, बट मैं अब सब कुछ भूल गई हूँ, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता. तो बट अभी आई एम रियली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड कि मैं जाऊंगी, थोड़ा जानूंगी थ्रू योर प्ले अगेन, और फिर आके मुझे पता है मैं घर अभी से ही उनके बारे में पढ़ना शुरू कर दूंगी.
Fantastic.
So,
If I have been able to generate that, then I have done something good. To
you know,
generate interest again, renewed interest in Tagore, that is my mission. Actually, that is what I want to do.
that's
And
awesome.
somebody asked if they can come in directly to the theater. No, you can only buy online and then bring it. You can bring it in your phone. The QR code is all you're going to need. And once you buy from the website, they're going to send it to you in your email. And you just bring the email, show it to us. Somebody will scan it, and you're done. You can
So,
print it if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to.
so immediately after the show, I will be putting the link to the
Yeah, I will too.
ticketing place and the
Okay.
flyer as requested. Many of the listeners who are already members of Suno Audio platform, they will get the information there. I'll put
Okay.
that information there also. And if you're not, please
Fantastic.
go ahead and become the member there to get more information. And on this Friday evening, I really want to thank Ritu for really taking your time on this evening to come and join us.
Yeah.
She was a little bit under the weather, but she did great. So thank you so much, Ritu. I really
No,
appreciate
thanks Rajiv. And it's like I always like अभी जैसे इन लोगों से इतना जानने को मिला like साहब जर्नी पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस like सिद्ध ने बताया कि he started his ये एक्टिंग का in 2018. So all these things like imbibe करते हो अपने अंदर and definitely it helps me grow as well.
And
Right.
it's never too late, Ritu. It's never too late. Think of me. I mean, I'm going to be 71, as I told you. And I started this 14 years ago. Look, how old was I? Do the math. I was quite
Yeah.
old. I was quite old, almost retirement age when I started this.
No one would
So
have
it's
guessed your
never too
age.
late.
Yeah,
No one
you
would have
don't
guessed your age. You
look
don't look
71.
71.
Oh,
So-
thank you very much.
Talking about starting things late, Rabindranath Tagore himself is an inspiration because I don't know whether you know that he was a great painter and he started painting at the age of 60, actually 60 plus. And
60 plus, yeah,
60
63
plus.
when Victoria Ocampo actually
Yeah.
encouraged him to do so.
So, I mean, it's never late.
Yeah. And thanks to
I know it's never
Victoria.
late.
He used to doodle on his exercise book where he used to write his poetry. Let's say he chose a word that he later on said, no, that's not the right word. I want to change it. So he would cross it out. Normally, we'd all cross it out. He would keep doodling and make a maybe animal out of it, or a dragon out of it, or a butterfly out of it, things like that. So Victoria Ocampo suddenly one day saw that book of his where he writes his rough copy of the book where he writes his poetry and doodles on it. So she said, wait a minute, you are an artist, Rabindranath. And he said, no, I'm not an artist. She said, you are. I understand art. So she brought charcoal and sketches, his charcoal sketchbook and charcoal for him. So he started to sketch separately. And she said, oh my God, this is so good. Why don't you experiment with paint? So when he went back home, back to Shantiniketan in India, his Vishwabharati University, he started painting. And in 1930, when he came to Paris, Ocampo also came to Paris to meet him. And he brought in a lot of his paintings. And Ocampo, within 2 weeks, arranged for a solo exhibition in Paris. Think about it.
It's amazing. So
Wow.
before we go,
राजीव मैं तो सोच रही हूँ भारती को लाके कि हम टैगोर के ऊपर शो ही कर सकते हैं to know about Tagore.
No,
The way
And
she's
just
talking.
think about it in 1930 when the Impressionist and post-Impressionist painters were flooding the art scene of Paris. Nobody knew Tagore. Who is he? But
So
his
Bharati-
art was so beautifully accepted, so well accepted. And he got such rave reviews that this exhibition he did in London and Berlin.
so age is never the factor. Age is
Yeah.
never limiting.
And you have to have a Victoria too in your life to discover that talent of yours.
Exactly. Someone will find it. And Bharti, Ritu suggested a great thing. So sometime in the near future, we would like to bring you on just to talk about Tagore and.
Sure, I'd love to.
journey.
They're all experts on Tagore now, all three of them.
अच्छा,
Not like you.
एक question है जाने से पहले before we say good night to everybody, and any one of you or all of you can take this question out, is why would anyone like to spend money and come and watch Vijay Victoria on August 14th at the Fitzgerald Community Theatre in Rockville?
Because it's going to be a fantastic show, something that you've never seen before.
I can say that if they don't come, then they are going to miss a huge thing and repent afterwards. That's what I
Right.
So what
So
happens to someone
I
like
want,
me who will be in Spain at that time?
so
You'll have so
Rajiv,
much fun, you won't even notice that you missed it.
Rajiv, I just wanted to add to, when you asked that question, these past 2 years have been so rough for us, right? All of us, performing arts across the board, theater artists, theater goers. Theater is back now, right? But it is not recovering fast enough. It's really, really slow. I mean, everybody said here who's performing in different cities, us who travel to different cities with different theater groups, we're seeing a bunch of canceled shows. We're seeing postponed festivals. We're seeing sparsely filled auditoriums. So I feel like if this trend continues, it's just not terrible for us as artists. It's just terrible for the art in general. So I think if the community, yours, ours, everybody just comes out to support us, because we really need to hear from you. When we walk on stage, if we can feel that pulse of that audience versus see a lot of empty seats, we get the guts that, we're going to do it again. We'll have the nerve, the courage to actually
Right.
invest ourselves again and produce again, because right now the scene across the country is a little bit dismal for small community theater groups like us. And having said that, Bharati Kakima has challenged all of us to recreate very iconic characters. So all of us have butterflies in the stomach, right? Over the last many months, we've worked incessantly to, create a very daring, a very vibrant love story. If we don't have the people that can tell us what, or that can tell us wow, either ways, we need to hear good, we need to hear bad, we need to see you there, and that's enough. That's what will make it worth it. So
Very
please
well.
come, please come.
They're
Very
doing beautifully, by the way. These three, they have so many lines and they're memorizing it, and they're doing fantastic. You guys will love it.
Asad, would you like to add?
No, in fact, I think Shampa just pretty much iterated what I was thinking. Like, I mean, and on top of that, I would just say that, anytime you have an opportunity to come to a theater, especially one that's right by you, especially the local one, take advantage of that. Come out and see, get some culture. It's not about even just getting culture in you. It's just, you'd be surprised what entertainment you get from just going to a play. I was surprised myself when before I even got into acting. Like I remember my father just approached me and said, "Hey, let's go see a play." And I thought, why? And then I saw one. I thought we should be doing this more often. Like it's a fantastic thing just to slip out whatever is bothering you, go into the darkness and enjoy what's in front of you right there, recreating something just out of the norm. It's fantastic.
That's
And
awesome.
Rajiv, on this one, we have I know they are not here, but we have artists from, other regions. Like, we have the woman who plays Fani, we have Isabel, we have Josie, we have Jorge, we have Elena, we have our pianist, we have a bunch of children. Kakima has kind of gone across the communities and cultures and pulled in like a wide variety, notwithstanding whether you've done theater before, what your experience is, just to provide a platform. If we support these risks that creative people take, then I think that's worthwhile for both, for artists and for the community.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. There are people from Cuba, Costa Rica, Argentina, and of course USA and India.
And I think it's very unique thing that Tagore Music Group has. Their all plays are very multicultural and try to bring people from different parts of the society, different ages. So that's the uniqueness of that group.
Wow, great. So looking forward, and August 14th, mark your calendar, guys. Do go and watch. And Shampa, Said, Saibal all presented great case. And Hakima, thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, guys, for having
Thank
us.
you so much, Rajiv and Ritu. Shout out to you for doing this.
Yeah, all the best, and looking forward to watch your play. And Bharati ji, you have a very positive aura and good personality.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kakima.
Okay, thanks to all of you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And
All the best.
thanks to you too
Thanks
for
very
having
Take
us.
care.
Happy weekend. All the best to you guys.
Yes, you
Bye-bye.
too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And bye, and thank you to all the people
Thanks to who tuned in. I wanted to say the audience. Thanks to the audience as well.
A lot for all of us. And रितु और मैं आपके लिए दिल से प्रोग्राम लेते आएंगे, लेते आते रहते हैं, लेते आते रहेंगे हर हफ्ते, आने वाले हफ्तों में. So Ritu, thank you so much. Signing off with a big hug for everyone. Have a wonderful weekend and all the best to the cast of Dear Victoria.
Thank you.
Looking forward to August.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.